week's episode of the Power Pod, the official podcast of the Niagara Power. I am James Burns,
I'm Alec Wheeler.
and we are here to talk about a little bit of off-season updates, a little bit of a boring time in the baseball universe, but that won't stop us from podcasting. Not a
We're
lot
starting
will.
to get some trades. We're starting to get some trades.
We're starting to get some cool stuff. We are currently coming to you over Zoom because Alec is back home in the middle of nowhere, or middle of New York, sorry. Same. Yeah, accurate. And I am currently in quarantine for the second time in 3 weeks because, whatever. It is what it is. So we are here to come to you live from my residence. Alex has come to you live from his residence, and we have a lot to talk to you guys about today. In fact, instead of a normal sponsor read, I want to talk to you guys about what will be a new sponsor. Is HappsNow. Alec, what do you have for HappsNow?
Well, HappsNow is essentially SeatGeek, but they do it better. They're focused on boosting that brand. They're not just focused on selling tickets. They're focused on helping market the entire thing. So they've helped us with our ticketing system. So now you can do online ticketing. They've helped us relaunch our website. They're just generally a really cool business. One of my favorite things about them when I was checking them out when we first started talking to them was they have a chief happiness officer named Smutty Nose. It's a dog.
Who is Smutty Nose?
The dog.
Okay. And will he be present at any of the Power games?
I hope so.
We can only hope.
We can only hope.
So are they a local company or are they national based?
I honestly don't know for certain. They have that feel of a local company, but they look professional to be national. They're saying their location is Portsmouth, New Hampshire. So I'd assume they're maybe regional, not necessarily national, but
like a northeast type thing. And then,
yeah.
So if they are a startup, then I feel like the Power would be a good place to.
Oh yeah.
Like an ideal client, right? Smaller type of organization. They're not going all the way up to like AAA or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely like a good opportunity. I just, when I heard about the partnership and I kind of heard pretty much everything that you said, but I heard maybe a week or two ago, a lot of it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it does also make a lot of sense, especially with the type of COVID restrictions that I'm assuming we're still going to be dealing with come next summer. We'll be able to have the contactless ticketing and ways to go online. Season tickets are now on sale, which is another great opportunity if you're from the Niagara Falls area. I feel like, Buffalo may be a little bit of a far of a drive to obviously get season tickets. Like the Bisons are fun to watch, maybe like a few times a year. But I mean, if you have season tickets for the Power, you're getting what is essentially 20 games for
the price of one game in Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly. And it's an easy drive. Sal Magley Stadium's a pretty friendly location in Niagara Falls. It's not like too far from anything. Like even if you're a Niagara Power fan and you're even, what's the farthest you're going to come within Niagara Falls? In the 10, 15 minutes, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you're in Lockport, if you're in Lockport, you drive a little farther, but whatever. I mean, yeah. So season tickets are now on sale, and where can they go to buy season tickets?
They can come straight to our website. I'm sure most fans already know what it is, but if you do not, it is NiagaraPowerBaseball.com.
Not NiagaraPower.com.
Nope, NiagaraPowerBaseball.com.
NiagaraPowerBaseball.com.
Fans should also be aware we did adjust the way our season ticketing works. So now you can buy a season ticket for the general admission as well as the premium chairback seats. The difference is that the chairback seats are that area directly behind the home plate. As most fans are aware, they're bright blue seats. Those are chairbacks. They are a little more expensive than the standard seats. The standard seats are those bleachers. So now by paying a little bit extra, you get more value out of your season ticket, which is always great.
Can we say the price on here, or should we wait for people to go to the website? So I've looked at the prices. Like it's literally the price of a Bison's game.
Yeah. And then if you buy a season ticket for a chairback seat, you also get merchandise credit and concession credit, which is $10 each. So it's
So
more value for getting a
essentially,
chair back.
so pretty much, yeah. And is that, yeah, I'm trying to think of the prices in my head, but you know what, I'll say the prices if anybody's listening and you want to hear it, like, because they're actually there's going to be no sticker shock. There will be no sticker. Like, what is the chair back? Is it 50?
I believe chair back. For seniors and students, it is 50 for a chair back. For adults, it is 70, but that puts you in the Power Club membership. To get a season
It's
ticket, general
also,
admission is $40 with 25 for seniors and students.
so it pretty, with the credit, with the concession and merchandise credit, it kind of is all the same. I feel like the chairback would be like someone who,
Well,
maybe,
let me
yeah,
break
go
it down
for it.
for you like this. For $30 extra in a season ticket, you get a $10 merchandise credit, a $10 concession credit, and you get to sit in a seat that has a chair back for
Right behind home
$30
plate,
extra,
right behind home
right
plate.
behind home plate.
And really, it's just $10 extra because you get the merchandise credit and
Yeah.
the concession credit. My sister has a saying: they're practically paying you to buy it. They're practically paying you to buy it. And yeah, and
I don't
I
think
feel
we
like
can
it'd be
officially
good.
state that as members of the Power, but I like that expression.
But no, but it's yeah. I mean, and the baseball you're watching is
It's
good,
good.
competitive baseball. Like it's like in this area. I mean, obviously, like there's something to be said about different sports having different quality of play throughout the entire country. Um, like for example, you'd find the best high school and college hockey in Minnesota, and you'd find the best football like in Texas. But even with that being said, I feel like baseball in the Northeast, especially in this league, really holds a candle to a lot of other collegiate baseball leagues throughout the United States. And the quality of baseball that you're watching, and the even the quality of baseball, and even the quality of like game experience, I feel like with you know college kids, college students like running on the staff, I feel like that kind of enhances the experience for everyone, because I feel like the interns and the staff that we have on hand are very high quality, and they also have a chemistry of working together, being in the same class for this whole semester, and most of them having experience doing this before. You know what I mean? So it's like, what you're really paying for is, I mean, in terms of game experience and the quality of the stadium and the quality of the baseball, it's probably pretty comparable to lower level professional baseball. I mean, tell me if I'm like kind of wrong saying that, but I mean,
Well, I mean, that's the great thing about baseball in general is that at any level, it's going to be competitive. So
right,
you're always going to get a game that is worth watching.
right. And I remember with my time with the Power a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm lucky to be back this year too. Um, there wasn't a lot of games where you felt like your time was wasted. Like
Mm-mm.
every single game, you're watching a quality, close, fun to watch game. And if you're a baseball fan, or even if you're one of those people too that are like, oh, I can only watch baseball if I'm there. Like, okay, well, here's your opportunity, and you know
There's
what I
your
mean. Like,
opportunity.
there's your opportunity. Like, because I know a million people are like, I can't watch on TV. It's so boring. Like, okay, well, then go to a game. Like, it doesn't cost a lot, and this is kind of
Mhm.
like a good way to like get your feet wet. Like, yeah, go for it.
And if, like you said, we might still be having COVID happen uh, come next season, if we are fortunate enough to be allowed to have fans in the stadium, well, there's your opportunity to get out of the house and actually like not and experience something that isn't uh, terribly restricted by COVID. Obviously, masks, everything I assume would be in place, but you'd actually be able to
Yeah, I'm
leave
wondering
and
what it'll be.
yeah,
But what I've kind of heard is that, I don't want to get too specific because I don't know how much of this is set in stone, but
no,
we're hoping on fans. We're hoping, and the thing too with like it being a baseball stadium and not like something that's domed in, is that it is a little more, airflow is a little more less restricted. Especially with people. I don't know if there's gonna be like they do like restaurants, like if there's gonna be like masks like while you're not I'm assuming like masks while you're not seated. I don't know how it's going to be if you're seated, but people are going to be spread out. It's a big stadium, so it's really
mhm.
easy, like for
Well, I think with
200
that
people
we
to be
can.
like comfortably spread out.
I think with that we can always look to the MLB and what they did with their example when they had fans this past season,
Hmm.
NFL as well. For the most part, it's just masks on in general.
Okay,
But
which is fine. I mean, yeah, it's it
wear a
is what
mask
it
for a
is.
couple hours so you can watch a baseball game. I think is a pretty fair trade.
I agree with that. I also think it's a pretty fair trade. And yeah, and stuff with concessions will be sorted out and stuff. There's possibility of no like contactless concessions, and there's a million different things that are going on in the works right now. And I think all of it is good.
We're talking about
And
stuff that's happening about 5, 6, 7 months from now.
exactly. So you never know how things are going to be, especially it's kind of tough to look at it now because we are like having that second spike of cases. So it's like kind of maybe it's a little harder to be optimistic, but like think about how it was like this past summer. Like this past summer, a lot of people were out, a lot of people were eating at restaurants, a lot of people, obviously sporting events like kind of came back into the fold.
Mm-hmm.
So it's again, it's tough to be optimistic right now. We're recording this in the end of November, where obviously New York has just entered the orange zone and they might be heading toward the red zone. Um, but yeah, I feel like it's still something that you know in the future, maybe in February or March, when we come back to visit this issue, when we start promoting more power games, it'll be something along the lines of, oh yeah, things have been a lot better and they're only going to get better. And like, there's a vaccine on the way. You know what I mean? So that maybe I need to be optimistic about this. Like I
Oh
need
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I need to be optimistic about this because, you know, why bother being a pessimist, right? Like it's about as bad as it's been right now, and it could really only get better. So
Mm-hmm.
by the time if 3 4 months roll around, I think it's going to be better. I think we're going to have live baseball to watch. I think people are going to be allowed in the stadium. I think that sure masks may be in place, maybe they won't. You never know. CDC said that we can go back to normal by like May if everything goes perfect with the vaccine, which obviously won't go perfect, but like maybe push that back to we could be watching the Niagara Power in the championship with no masks. You know what I mean? So there's reason to be optimistic and there's
So would
reason
you
to be
say the
excited.
Niagara Power gives you hope?
Absolutely,
Put it on the
one hundred
billboard,
percent,
guys. Niagara Power gives people
absolutely.
hope.
Absolutely. It absolutely does. And the whole season, live sports. I haven't seen a live baseball game. I haven't gone more than a year without watching a live baseball game my whole life. And I haven't seen a live baseball game since it's been like, I'm trying to think. We're November 2020 now, at least 12 months since I've seen a live baseball game, which is, again, I haven't gone more than a year my whole life without seeing a live baseball.
Oh, yeah, well, I gotta say, for me, the last live baseball game I can remember seeing was the last Niagara Power home game before the championship because I didn't even get to go to that.
So is it August of 2019?
Some point in August, yeah.
August of 2019? Yeah. So it's,
Yeah.
no, it's and good thing we have sports on now. Good thing that
Mm-hmm.
people are getting you know stuff back in place. But yeah, I really feel like Tiger Power gives me hope, and the season gives me hope, and
Mm-hmm.
I think the staff that we have, the opportunities that we're going to have, and the reasons that there's a million reasons to be optimistic right now, even if it's
Absolutely.
been brutal
Mm-hmm.
lately. Again, this is my second time I've had to quarantine since. This is my second time quarantining in November. And if I can sit here and say like, well, you know what, it's only gonna get better than anyone can.
Mm-hmm.
So it's maybe this is a long-winded way of promoting the power, but
I mean, it's an
at this point,
indirect way,
yeah. So
but
that no, yeah,
if you're looking for something to be optimistic about, look into getting a season ticket with the Niagara Power because we'll do our very best to make sure you have an enjoyable summer.
absolutely, Alec. You're going to be heading up the interns this year. I'll be heading up the broadcast, and I really think with the two of us, it can be as good as an NYCBL
Well, don't
broadcast and the
forget
experience can be.
Lauren's in charge of the interns this coming
Oh, you
season.
tell us about Lauren too.
Lauren, let's see, she was supposed to be my right hand this year. Unfortunately, we couldn't have a full season. Season before that, she spent so much work in her first season with the Power that she naturally became that person that everyone looked to that wasn't given a role. She just filled a role and earned all the respect she has. She's incredibly hardworking. She doesn't need to be told what to do. She doesn't even need to be asked. She'll just do it. She is
Right.
such a hard worker. I am so excited to see what she can do. Fully in charge.
And Alec, your check from Lauren is in the mail.
She's paying me.
But yeah, no, I really, and we'll have her on. We'll have a few of the interns on. We'll have Tuka back on. We are working on getting Stu Peterson on the podcast. He unfortunately, we're supposed to have him on last week. Unfortunately, he had to cancel last second. But no, we're very happy. We're very excited to have him on as well. We're talking with different power coaches, Cal Kern. There's a bunch of different, great content coming your way for the Power Pod, and we are super excited to have all these baseball minds kind of congregate in this one spot. And if you're looking for other stuff to listen to, we have most of our episodes on Spotify, so you can check it out. The Power Pod on Spotify. Just look for the big Niagara Power logo. Last week we had Joe Brown on, and he's one of our favorite guests to have on.
It's always fun talking to him.
I love Joe Brown because he's not a normal guest. Like he's definitely he feels like he feels like that one uncle that just busts your chops like all the time, especially with him being a Patriots fan and me being a Bills fan. Like I love having him on. He's always fun. He's always fun. But yeah, so this has been this episode of the Power Pod. We have season tickets on sale, NiagaraPoweredBaseball.com. And we have HappsNow, awesome new partner, great new sponsor, HappsNow ticketing service. I don't know, anything else you want to get in there before we sign off?
I was gonna say, try the promo code. I know we put it in for Black Friday, but who knows? Maybe it'll still be available. It's Champ10. Put it in as your code when you buy a season ticket, and who knows? You might get a fun surprise. If not, well, hey, still a great deal.
And grab some of those chairback seats. Again, we're practically paying you to buy it.
There's nothing better than watching baseball with a chair back, honestly.
Chairback with your Niagara Power credit and with some concessions, which, as far as ballpark concessions go at this level, I'd say top notch.
Oh, we do a great job.
I remember my 2018 season, I was up with Jamie McGone, and I'd go down at the end, so the concession stand would close at 7 o'clock, at the seventh inning. And I'd, all right, Jamie, you take this inning. I'd go down and grab just a bunch of hot dogs, hamburgers, and I'd make the food run. It's like, all right, Jamie, what do you want in your hot dog? Anybody else want anything? And the whole press box. It was just
oh yeah.
So it was good. I was like, all right, yeah, sure, why not? So, no, I'm super excited. And I mean, yeah, we're in November, and the season starts in July. No, June.
Late June.
Yeah, so I'm super excited. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be looking forward to it for the next 7 months.
I mean, think about that. We're not even in December yet, and we're already getting excited.
If we're getting excited and we have to work at the games, you guys should definitely be getting excited because you get to go, you get to watch the games, get to enjoy the games. I'm excited for the players we have coming. I think those are going to be, we had an awesome class coming in last year. Obviously, the world decided to just completely shut down, but
we had such a good team. The world was scared of what we were capable of doing.
I think that I really think that it was a whole conspiracy to kind of shut down the NYCBL because
they knew we would repeat.
So we are the defending 2-year NYCBL champions. We're not giving the trophy back until someone takes it from us. And whatever. I'll stand by that.
It's gonna be really awkward if Tuka gave the trophy back already.
Yeah, I hope he didn't. I really hope he didn't. So yeah, we'll get some former players on here soon. We got to check in with Adam Purdy and see how our client is doing. We have to check and see as the unofficial off-record advisor to Joe Brown. need to check in with him too. So we'll have updates coming for you there. Because he definitely agreed to that. The unofficial, off-record,
Totally.
anonymous. Yeah, he definitely, or no, he agreed to it off record. So on record, he doesn't. On record,
On record, he doesn't know who we are.
exactly. He wasn't even on the podcast on record. That whole podcast was off record. But yeah, I'm James Burns.
I'm Alec Wheeler.
This has been this week's episode of the Power Pod, the official podcast of the Niagara Power.